All right. So, with the thing with we killing suspects now. Has anyone thought about that? We are now killing suspects. We're no longer proving them innocent or seeing them innocent until proven guilty. Every suspect used to always back, well, this person's a suspect. We want to take you in. Why? Because we suspect you as a bomber, suspect you in the murder of so and so's case. We're taking you in down for questioning, and then that person is presumed innocent until proven guilty. But now we are shooting suspects. If you're not saying anything about that, then you have already received what they're doing. There should be an outcry. There should be literally people, you know, picketing this. Should be people literally calling down to the police station in Austin, Texas, saying, "Why are you shooting suspects? Do you know for sure he had a bomb?" You're going off of suspicion. That's it. Assuming. And we all know what the saying in that. Assuming is like this. Everyone has a butthole. It's just an assumption. But you can't assume. You can't tell which one farted. Everyone got a butthole. But you can't tell which one farted. You know? So they literally went down. They literally took pictures from FedEx. This is what we believe the man to look like. You know how many people go in a day, throughout the day, with FedEx, going to FedEx with boxes? And your thing is, you come up with is, we believe this is the one who did it. But no one is thinking. It's like in 9/11. 9/11, they showed a hole on the ground. Like, look at this hole. Look where the plane was. Why'd I say why the plane was? Because when you looked at the ground, no plane was there. But it was the place where one of the planes would supposedly have crashed down. They just kept showing that spot. Look. So you mean in 9/11, it took them over a year and some change to literally clean up the mess, right? But then this supposed spot where this plane supposedly crashed down, when they show the spot, there's no plane there, so they, cleaned up the mess within what, a couple of hours? Do you not see it's the same thing going on with this Austin, Texas? Austin, Texas has been in the news for a while now. It has. It's been in the news along with Chicago, along with Florida. There's another one also that's been in the news. Ohio, really? Ohio has been in the news a little bit, but not as much. And the one that keeps showing all the time is, look, they're trying to show you, they're letting you know the markers where they want to start to implementing a political state, a police state. Look, they got Mr. Sessions saying, who is a politician, who is actually a prosecutor, who wants us now starting to give people who are caught with drugs or selling drugs the death penalty. Why is that? It is literally the government getting rid of their competition. Because now the government's doing what? They're selling drugs. Are they not selling weed? Is that not a herb, a drug? So if you finding all, you already know where all the drug dealers are already at. You already know them. Some of them on your payroll. You know them. Now you better turn your backs on the one who was peddling the drugs for you. Why? To cover the traces of them receiving drugs from you. It's just like a big old movie. But it's funny, but no one sees that. Yeah, I think you should kill all the drug dealers. And you don't understand, they are covering their behinds. How did the drugs get into our neighborhoods? These military bases were used to house the drugs because can no civilian just walk on into a military base? You have to have clearance. And if you know too much and you are military and you don't have that clearance and you so happen to stumble onto some stuff, guess what? You're going to be found missing. They're going to say you was shot at some kind of training. They'll make up some stuff. Yeah, we are sad to report that Specialist so-and-so was shot during training. It was an accident drill, whatnot. At this time, no one's being charged with his murder. No, they just covered up they literally covered their tracks. Anyone who found anything in the military that wasn't supposed to be found before his time was taken out, executed. This is not new news. This is old news. The police department now is the same way. If you are solely or a person really bent on trying to literally deliver justice, guess what? You're going to get killed by the bad cops. They're going to set you up. I had this said to me by a ex-police officer. I told him I wanted to go into being a police officer. That was like many years ago. That was like when I first came to Arizona. That was like in 2008. I told him I want to do it. And he looked at me. He said, you look a pretty good dude. I was like, yeah. He said, you're going to have problems. He said, I'm not talking about bad guy problems either. I said, what? He said, I'm talking about your own people who's supposed to be on your force. You're going to have problems with them. I said, what? He said, yes. He said, the cops is not what you see. He says, you ain't going to have problems with the bad guys. He said, the bad guys are being employed by the bad police officers. They're in on it. They keep them on the streets because they're getting paid to do the work for the police. And if you try to take out every single bad person, you're going to be going into the pockets of the bad police officers. And they will set you up as a police sting, and it will be set up for you. You'll be there, and it'll be your own fellow police officers shooting you and taking you out. And they'll blame it on someone else that took you out. How many times have we heard that a good cop was taken out in front of his house? Don't even know that it was probably his own cop buddies that set him up. Why? Because he was a good cop. Think about it. If there is no crime, why do we need police officers? If you get rid of all the crime, then you take away their jobs. So they're into keeping their jobs. So mind you, they're going to make deals with some of the drug dealers. They're going to make deals with them. They ain't going to get rid of all of them. They're going to get rid of some of them. So anyone who is probably not going to lay down to their new rules, then they'll bring up all the stuff they have on them and throw them to the fam. And you and other people out in the world will be like, persecute them. And you don't understand that it's them covering their trails. Think. Austin, Texas right now, with all this bad stuff going on, people are going to say, I don't feel safe. Oh my goodness, we have suspect bombings. A suspect bomber. And then I remember seeing on the news while this thing was going forth, it was a live feed. I remember someone said, did anyone actually see him with this bomb? Everyone else is saying, persecute him, kill him. Good job, police officers. Only one person, maybe 2 or 3 people was like, wait a minute, hold up. Suspect? Did anyone see him with the bomb? So you mean the police officers saw him? You look like a suspect. You're dead. All right, the threat has been eliminated. We, the police officers, have secured the city again. We shot a suspect. We never saw him with the bomb in hand. We don't even know what's in those boxes, but we assumed that this was him. So we shot him on something that he didn't do. And everyone's clapping their hands like, yay, this is great. You stupid, because you're not thinking. You don't even understand that Minority Report is taking place. Pre-crime. So if this suspect means you could have done, but it's not a guarantee that you did. So you are a suspect. That is a pre-crime. Something that's not done. It's an illusion. It's an assumption. And it's literally saying, giving them power to kill you. Because if you become an enemy of the state, they can assume you're selling drugs. And guess what? Therefore, give you the death penalty. Do you see how that goes? They start pegging everybody. Look at this. Those who probably have a green card, smoking, whatnot, you could probably be pegged as a drug dealer. We assumed he was a drug dealer. Why? Because he had drugs on him. It was just medicinal use. My own personal use. Not me, per se, but the other person. But then they'll get pegged. Oh, we shot him. We got him a death penalty. What if the death penalty turns in this? We don't have to wait a certain amount of years to execute you in a chair or by lethal injection. Death penalty is we see you on spot, we shoot you on spot. That's the death penalty. Just saying. Give you something to think about. Don't be so quick to jump on the bandwagon just because the news put it out. Begin to look into some things. Suspect is exactly what it is. Suspect is exactly what it is. Suspect. Minority Report was suspect. Everything that they pulled up was based off of suspect. We suspect they was going to do this. They never ever had any evidence. No hard evidence at all. It was pre-crime. You are literally watching a police state take place in front of you in Austin, Texas, in Florida, in all these other places where you keep seeing all these cities keep showing up. They keep showing up in the news. They keep showing up in the news. They're already letting you know, and they're letting the elites know this is how far we come, and this is what we're doing right now. Austin, Texas has been in the news for a very long time. They have been in the news since from last week. I mean, like day after day after day. It's like almost the month of March has been the month of Austin, Texas. Literally. And you keep, and I heard the news, people say like, well, they're talking about implementing some, increasing security. What does that mean? Police state. And a police state, without people understanding it, is martial law. That's what it is. It's no longer being ran by a jury. It's no longer being ran by justice. It's being ran by politics. That's a political state. Police state. Politics. It's the politicians empowering the police officers to be able to hand out judgment as they see fit. What'd you say? You got at the same time also was taking off like, all right, so it's already, now there it is. California is the other one. That is a police state. Why? Because that's where Mr. Sessions is from. He is a Republican for California. He's actually the prosecutor in California. And I'm going to do a professional video than this, but I just want to give y'all minds to be able to think about this. And I'm going to have pictures showing you what they're doing, showing you the different words and what stuff is. And I'm going to bring some other stuff out that I can't say right now because Yahuwah said don't do it. He said do it in the other video. So I'm going to do it in that video. But I brought it out. But I'm going to bring it up. So, look into Sessions. Sessions is in California. So California, he's there raising up a what? A political state. A police state in California. A police state in Austin, Texas. A police state in Florida. They're starting it. They want to do the measures. They're doing the measures right now. That's why they keep putting the stuff out in the news. This was going on in Florida. This was going on in California. This was going on in Austin, Texas. In Austin, Texas today, and we just keep hearing stuff about Austin, Texas. What does a person think about when they keep hearing about Austin, Texas? I'm not safe. They got bombers running around. They got suspect bombers running around this place. What in the world? Anybody could be a suspect bomber. They just using words, they're throwing words out there, but y'all just going with it. Like, oh my goodness, there's suspects, bombers out there. If you have a passing thought of murdering somebody, guess what you are? A suspect murderer. But you didn't commit it though, right? You didn't do it. It's pre-crime. You have literally Minority Report. Minority Report is martial law. We didn't get it then. We get it now though. Look at it. Look at the force that came in through the windows. We had a hunch you was about to kill somebody. And it's like you got 10 people here to arrest you. How many people was in the pre-crime units put away based off of an assumption? And we thought that was just something far-fetched. Like, that would never happen. Hello? We're here. We are here. We are here. And Mr. Session is leading the way. He is the #1 prosecutor who is coming up with all these ideas. Think about that. A prosecutor, not the defending attorney, but the prosecutor, who is like the accuser in the scripture, is the one making these suggestions, making these laws. Think about that. The prosecutor wants to create a political state, and guess the one who will be the one in charge of all of it? The prosecutor. Do you see this? This is what's happening. But they're hitting 3 states right now. They're making them example right now. It's happening right now in front of our face. And you don't even realize it's happening. All right. Wake up. Shalom.